If you're tired of these colorful website banner designs, then try this effect. To create this design, Crazy Coding will do everything using only HTML and CSS code. To create this kind of lighting effect in HTML and CSS, we first need to create its basic shape. However, this seems like a rather complex problem, as the technique for creating recessed shapes like this is rarely mentioned in HTML and CSS. On my left is the HTML code screen, and on my right is the results display screen. In the HTML, I use SVG tags, with view boxes having values of 0, 0, 100, and 60 respectively. Imagine. The SVG tag helps me create a blank sheet of paper. That blank sheet of paper will have a length of 100 and a width of 60. With the path tag, we have a colored pen that can draw anything on this paper. The drawing path will be in the D attribute. Declare M to place the pen at the point with coordinates x equals 0, and y equals 5. I will draw a curve from there to the point with coordinates x equals 100 and y equals 5. However, for a curve, we will need to declare an additional control point with coordinates x equals 50, y equals 55. Originally, these 2 points would be connected by a straight line, but when a control point is declared, this straight line will have to curve in the direction being controlled. The further away this control point is, the larger the curve will be, and vice versa. Next, I create a straight line from this point to the coordinates x 100, y 55. It's just a straight line, so no control points will be needed. Finally, I want to create a curve to the coordinates x 0, y 55. So I need to select a control point again. I'll choose a point at a higher level because I want the curve to point upwards. And enter Z to indicate the end of the curve. So we've finished drawing one of the 3 light effect layers. Let's continue drawing the remaining 2 light curves. Based on this method, I will now create a second shape. With a lighter color. I want its radius to be smaller, so the coordinate points drawn will also be smaller. From the point with coordinates 0 to 10, I create a curve with a control point at 50 to 48 to connect to the point with coordinates 100 to 10. Then I draw another straight line to the coordinates 100 to 50. Finally, a curve with coordinates 50 to 12 is a control point to connect to the final point 0 to 50. So we have the second shape. Based on that, we will continue to draw a final shape representing the brightest part of the light beam, so it will be white. I will write M again to signal the start of drawing. These points will again have a smaller radius than the second shape. To connect the 2 points to form a curve, I will create another control point. If you want to change its curvature, whether it's more or less curved, you can choose a different point to experiment with until you find one that looks best to you. Once you fully understand how we draw, you can create other images according to your creativity. You can make more shapes if you want. The more layers of shapes stacked on top of each other with different colors, the more impressive the effect will be. At this point, we have created 3 shapes. After I have the necessary images, I will proceed to write the CSS style for them. You can write it in a separate CSS style file, or write it directly here. I will use a dark SVG tag to highlight the light. I will also set the width to 100% in height to optimize the responsive display. In the outermost image, the largest layer, I will set the blur to 10 pixels to make it blurry. The 10 pixel value is adjustable to suit your personal aesthetic. Continuing with the second layer, it will also be blurred. However, the principle is that the further inward the layer, the less the blur. This principle helps us simulate the light more realistically. Finally, the white layer will also be slightly blurred so that the colors between the layers can blend together. You can use this effect in your website banner to design a more interesting banner. Perhaps the most time-consuming part of this design is working with the coordinate axes carefully and in detail. But after a few tries, it will become easy and very familiar. And that's all the content for this video. As this is a new channel, I really hope to receive your support through subscribing, liking, and commenting. It will make us happy and motivate us to continue providing. Thank you very much, and see you in the next interesting video.